Hi, I'm Michael Delahunt. Welcome to my art studio. I want to show you a method today for making a clay sculpture of an animal, a four-legged animal. There are so many kinds of four-legged animals, and you can use this technique for any one of them. So, giraffes, zebras, horses, dogs, cats, goes on and on. I recommend that you try to make an animal that you really know. Like if you have a horse or a dog or a cat, go for that one first, but feel free to make any animal that you think you know pretty much about. I've got some examples here. Here's a deer. He's got antlers. He's got a little tail. Here's a mouse with a long tail. Notice this long tail is curled around because I was afraid that it might break off if it stuck out too far and long. You know what that is? Well, I was trying to make a giraffe. He doesn't stand up, but he's still a wonderful character. Here's a dog. And another dog. And we're going to make a dog. I'm going to show you a dog. I'm not quite sure what that animal is. And did I show you the alligator? I think I did. And another dog. I've been practicing my dog to show you. So we're going to start with a piece of clay that will turn into a log shape. We just squeeze it between two hands so that it's a little longer than it is wide. If it's much longer and thinner than that, it would be a hot dog. I think that would be too long. Now the next thing you want to do is decide how much of this clay should we save for the head. And I think I'll save this much. Now what I'm doing is called an OK squeeze, because that's the sign for, hey, it's okay. I go around the place where I think the neck ought to be and save that clay for the head. The rest of the clay is going to be for all the other parts of the body. Now, I should decide how much clay I'm going to use for each leg. I want it to just come out of the clay instead of pull it off and stick it back on. So I'm going to use a little of this knife and just stick it in a little bit and cut from about where I've got the neck started all the way down to the other end. I call this the cross cut because I'm going to cut right across the middle of that. Not very deep, only about that deep. And that helps me to establish that this clay is going to be used for this leg. It's going to be a leg here and here and here. Let's start this first leg. It doesn't matter which one you do first. You squeeze that clay. We pull it out from the body. Not really pulling so much as squeezing and shaping. And sure enough, there's a leg coming down from the body. Now let's get some more clay. How about this clay right here? I'll get my fingers in between that crack that I made with the knife, and I'll squeeze the clay and make it rounder and longer. It's just about the same size as the other leg. Now let's get some of this clay here and squeeze it. We'll have a third leg. Now the fourth leg, the clay for it is set aside by that cross cut. There they are, 4 legs just about the same size. Now another something that sticks out is a tail, and that's where it's got to come out. Looks like we've got some clay right there set aside for it. So I'll squeeze that, and boy, we've got enough clay for a pretty big tail. We'll make this a pointy tail. That's really sticking out nicely. The head is just a ball of clay. You wouldn't say that was much of a dog's head. A dog has a snout. So does an alligator. But an alligator has a really long one. We need a shorter one. Not as short as a cat's, but a snout nevertheless. There's one. Now let's get some ears coming out. Just need to squeeze some clay from the place where the ear would come out, and then the clay from the other side. So it's about the same size. Now, let's get a face on that head. We pick up a pencil. We'll poke a pencil in to get an eye and another eye. And now the mouth. The mouth, we just need to open it up right about there. We push in the knife, wiggle it a little bit, and that knife will show an open mouth. Hey, how about nose? A couple little nostrils, and there he is. He can sniff. Now, he's just about complete. What does he need? I think he needs some fur. Otherwise, he's just all skin. So let's take our pencil again and make a lot of little lines. They don't have to be particularly tidy. It's not a pattern as much as it is a texture. So we'll make it go the same direction that the hair goes when we pet a dog. So straight back on the top and sort of downward at an angle on the sides. We can put some long lines in the tail if he's got really bushy hair. Wow, that's great. I like him. Now he could be in a lot of positions. He could stand. I don't know if he'd stand without my supporting him. We could get a support under him. Or we could make him sit like this guy. Another way he could sit would be if we put him down like this. You ever seen a dog sit like this? And we could have him turning his head or looking straight at us. I like him that way. Now if we just sign it and put it where it should go in order to be dried out and in the kiln, he'll be ready to fire in the kiln, and then we can paint him later. Thanks for watching. I'm awfully glad you could see this. I'm eager to find out how you're going to do your sculpture. Good luck. Bye-bye.